Hello, I am not sure if this video is capturing the words or not, so I have this screen on here. So if you cannot get the audio, then obviously you are reading this. I will do my best to see what happens, but it looks like the volume is off. All right, so let's try these problems. Remember, anything to the 0 power is 1. So this equals 1. This one, we cannot have a negative exponent, so we are going to rewrite this as 1 over x to the 5th power. Number 3. Again, we cannot have a negative exponent, so we are going to rewrite this as 1 over 4 squared. And remember, 4 squared we can now simplify, so 4 squared is 4 times 4, so we get 1 over 16. In number 4, I see that negative exponent, so I know I'm going to have to write some kind of fraction with a numerator and a denominator. And because we have 5, remember this is to the 1st power, so the 5 stays on top, and then x to the 3rd goes in the denominator. Looking at number 5, we cannot have that negative exponent, so again I'm going to make my fraction bar. And a negative exponent, so this is going to be x to the 3rd goes into the denominator. And then y to the 5th is a positive exponent, so that is going to stay on top. All right, we're going to go and do some more review problems here in just a second, so let me get to that screen. All right, we are going to continue with our review here. So this is an order of operation problem, so please stop the video and then go ahead and do this problem, 2 problems, and then resume the video, and then you can check your answer. All right, I'm going to go through this. So order of operations says that we need to do stuff inside the parentheses first. So I have 5 minus, and then 6 minus 4 is 2 to the negative 3rd power. And then this right here, anything to the 0 power, so then I'm going to add my 1. All right, so I can do the 5, but we have this negative exponent. So this negative exponent right here needs to be written as a fraction. So it's going to be 5, and then we're going to subtract. And when we write this as a fraction, it becomes 1 over 2 to the 3rd. And then we still have our plus 1. So this is going to be 5 minus 1/8 plus 1. So 5 minus 1/8 is 4 7/8, and we're going to add 1 to that. So we get 5 7/8 is our final answer. All right, the problem B, again, I'm going to go inside my parentheses. So 6 minus 2 is 4, and we have to the 4th power. And inside parentheses on the bottom is 8 minus 4 is 4 to the 1st power. Now, because these both have like bases of 4 and 4, I can subtract these exponents, 4 minus 1. So I have 4 to the 3rd power. And now remember, you guys could use a calculator, so you're going to go 4 caret 3, or 4 times 4 times 4, and that answer is 64. All right, take a second here and go ahead and do these 2 problems, and then resume the video, and then you can go ahead and watch this. All right, the first problem is multiplication. So when we are multiplying, we are going to add our exponents. So we keep our base of d, and then we're going to add 3 plus 8. So we keep the d as our base, and 3 plus 8 is 11. Number 2 is a power to a power. So you see there's only one W. When you look at number 1, there are 2 bases, D and D. This one only has 1 base. So this time we have to multiply our exponents. Keep your base, and 3 times 8 is 24. So we have W to the 24th power. All right, continuing on, you do number 3 and 4, and then resume the video. All right, number 3 is division. So when we do division, if you can't remember how to do it, remember you can do everything out the long way. So if you wanted to, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 X's on top, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 G's on top. On the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 X's, and we have 2 G's. Now, we can cancel things off, so we can cancel, 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 and it looks like I have 3 X's, and they are on the bottom, so I have X to the 3rd. And when we cancel our G's off, I have 3 G's also, so now I have G to the 3rd on top. So we end up with G to the 3rd on top and X to the 3rd on the bottom. All right, number 4. We have to bring in this exponent. So we have 6 to the 2nd, and this one right here, W to the 5 to the 2nd power, that's just like the problem we were doing. So remember, we have to multiply these exponents. So we're going to take 5 times 2. 6 squared is 36. And then we have W to the 10th power. All right, you go ahead and give 5 and 6 a try, and then we'll go through them. All right, number 5. What we have here is a positive exponent and a negative exponent. So as soon as I see that negative exponent, I have to be thinking about writing it as a fraction. And then the F to the 5th power stays on top. And because this has a negative exponent, we're going to put that on the bottom. So that will be G to the 3rd. They are not like bases, so that's all we can do. All right, number 6. They want us to find out what exponent would go in that box to make this statement true. So what do we do with these exponents to get 9? Am I going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Well, because it's multiplying, we are going to add exponents. So what do we need to add to 5 to get to 9? So we need to put a 4 in that box, because 4 plus 5 will get us 9. All right, give these 2 here a try. All right, so in number 7, our ultimate goal is to get the final answer, or W to the 9th power. So what would we need on the bottom? W to the what power? And remember, when we are doing division, we are subtracting. So 12 minus what is going to leave me with 9? So this would have to be a 3. All right, number 8 is very similar to the one we just did. And because I have a negative exponent, I think about fractions. And so now I'm going to have, they're at lunch. So then we've got a negative exponent. And so the negative exponent has to go on the bottom. So we have C to the 8th power. And the H has a positive exponent, so it's H to the 3rd. That is your simplified form. All right, read this number 9. Make sure you're pausing your video, giving this a try, and then come back and we'll go through this. All right, this says a number. And whenever we have a number, we're going to put in some kind of variable to stand for that. So a number to the 10th power is divided, so I'm going to write that as a fraction, divided by the same number. So this same number, we just called it x to the 7th power. So now I can just simplify this. So remember, we are going to subtract our exponents. So it's x to the 3rd. So now they're saying this has to equal 512. What number can we multiply by itself 3 times? So if we do like 5 times 5 times 5, That's 125. Well, we are trying to get to 512, so what are we going to multiply there? So you can give it a guess. And 7 times 7 times 7, and let's see what 7 times 7 times 7 gives us, and that's 343. That's not quite there. So what if we do 8 to the third? 8 times 8 times 8, that gives us 512. So in this sample problem, the number they're looking for is 8. All right, here's your last one. So go ahead and read through this one. Give it a try, especially since we just did one like it. So see if you can figure out what this one is. All right, this one says a number, we don't know what that is, so I'm going to call it x, to the 11th power is divided by, so I'm going to divide by the same number, and this time we have the 9th power, and they want this to come out to be 49. Well, I'm first going to simplify this, so x to the 11th over x to the 9th. That is taking 11 minus 9, so I have x squared. So x squared equals 49. So what number can we put in there? And they're looking for 7. Technically, it could be 7 or -7, but for this practical purposes, what we're doing right now, you can just put in your 7. All right, hopefully this was a good review for you, and make sure you go in and do today's homework. Good luck.